Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to City Skylines today. Well, today there has been a small change to the city and a pretty big change to the game since we were last here. The small change is this bridge here, which somewhat adjusts the one-way system we have going around the very center of the city here. It no longer goes out this way, it comes across this bridge, and this is now a series of two-way roads, as you can see. I just figured that would be quite useful. It would maybe pull a little bit more traffic along this highway because it doesn't have to go as far to get over to this side of the city, because that is something that's a bit of a flaw at the moment, which is any traffic that comes in via this little ramp here, or even this one, has to go around the whole one-way system if they want to get up to here, which is part of the reason we're seeing so much, at least I think it's part of the reason we're seeing so much traffic opting to use this road here and do its thing. Although in general there is just a lot of traffic. That is a major industrial zone over there. And obviously we did get rid of the industrial zone that was once Autumn Heights, so we are going to see a lot more industrial traffic coming across here because it's not coming out of the city anymore. And this is something we're going to need to deal with at some point, because quite clearly there's just a lot of traffic. Let's go ahead and just upgrade this a little bit to a 4-lane highway and see if that'll make any difference. It might not, I don't know. This bit here is, I mean, this is already 4 lanes. These guys are all trying to, they're merging in a really strange way there. That is very odd. Let me try downgrading that to 3 lanes just to see what happens. I mean, it does seem to be flowing a little bit better with the 3 lanes. So I think we'll keep that as it is. We'll just upgrade it to the one with the sound barriers. So hopefully that'll work out. What I will do, though, is just very quickly go ahead and do a bit of traffic plus plus, because I realize they would have been able to U-turn there, and that is something we want to avoid. So we'll have those guys go to the middle lanes, and those guys go to that lane. And that should be good. This is all still backing up like crazy, though, so it might be worth looking into doing a 4-lane section the whole way through here, but that's actually not going to be an option because of bridges, so we're going to have to deal with this as it is at the moment. It might be worth looking into getting another bridge or 2 into this area. A bridge coming off of here somewhere could be useful. A bridge coming off of here could be useful, but that's an enormous body of water to cross with a bridge, so we may look into that, we may not. I make no promises currently. I do want to fix the traffic problems, but I'm kind of wanting to just have a bit of a play around. It's been a couple of days since I've played City Skylines. Obviously, I made the video on update 1.4, which I called Alpha 1.4 several times without realizing, because every time I think of an update 1. anything, I tend to think of Softwaring for some reason. There used to be a time when I would think of Minecraft when you told me of update 1.4 or version 1. whatever. But these days it's Softwaring, so that's why I got that confused. But I think what we'll do today is just take things a little bit easy and start filling in these spaces around this sort of downtown area and see what we can do. I would also like to have a little bit of a play with the, where is it, the keys here. I think those could be fun to play around with, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I also realize we have lost so many people because this death wave is just going crazy right now. Seriously, everyone in the city is just dying, and it is just a death wave. It's just people dying. That's all it is. It's not any problem with my city. It's not pollution. At least I don't think it's pollution. I should probably have a look and make sure it's not pollution. I also appreciate that terrain heights. This is a new thing in the map overlays, terrain heights. That's kind of really cool. I really appreciate that. That's going to be super, super useful. But I do want to look at pollution. Where is it? Pollution is... That's pollution. So, yeah, that's... There's no water pollution. People's just dead. That's all it is. There's just dead. And there's not much I can do about it. So, like I said, we'll come into these areas and we'll start filling them up with a bit of zoning. So let's see what we can do. I kind of like the idea that we will Let's also turn prop and tree anarchy off. I like the idea that these roads are going to have buildings on either side rather than being blocked off by the pedestrian path. Because that way, I can sort of hide the pedestrian path with buildings. I don't know, I just really like that idea. Let's see if we can make it work and also not completely disrupt our bus lines, which is kind of likely. But if I do this kind of thing and bring this over to here, that's a little bit too close. If we bring that back one, and that's still a little bit too close, let's see if we can measure this properly. We want to go to it there, and to there, and there. And then just bring these across to that point and that point. That actually did disrupt that road, as you can see, but we'll fix that at some point. But what we could do here is basically just zone this with something, and it's its own little block that can be bordered by pedestrian pathways, which is excellent news. So what we'll do is just reconnect these, if at all possible, which it looks like it is going to be a little bit tricky. Let's just adjust the height we're going for here. So that goes up to... Really? It goes up to 9? That's a little bit... What does that go up to if I... Oh, wow. Okay, so that's kind of silly. What have we got? 6, 12... Interesting. I don't know what heights we're dealing with here, but it's very strange indeed. Can I just bring this off of here and go over that road? No, it really isn't going to let me do that. That's annoying. That is very annoying, but I'm going to just have to deal with it. And go back down to 6 and go to there. Alright, I mean, that looks kind of hideous. Let's just stick with the 9 the whole way across and see if we can... Oh, it's really confusing going to the terrain tools for the pedestrian paths. It's really strange. But there we go. Oh god, there we go. Nice little pedestrian path over there. Makes the connection, and we can fill in this space with whatever we like. I might actually do some parks. I think a nice big park in there could be useful. Not necessarily that one, though. Definitely not that one. Not that one either. If we could get one that actually fits, that would be excellent. Unfortunately, none of them really fit. What is that? That's a parking lot. We don't really want that. We could... No, we can't do that either. I've got a lot of I've got these as well. I've got the canal walls, which are a little bit unnecessary at the moment, considering canals are actually in the game. So, I might want to remember to get rid of those at some point. Oh! Now, hold on a minute. Those actually fit together kind of nicely. It's 2 children's play parks right beside each other, but it does fill up the space, which is a very good thing, so I think I'll keep those, and then we'll just fill in the rest of this with some residential zoning, because... Yeah, that's a commercial area right there, so a bit of residential zoning would be a good thing. So there we go, we'll let that fill up and do its thing, and it should look kind of excellent, especially if we do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to pull out all of these trees, because we really don't need them. And I realize I have turned off the extra landscaping tools mod, because I figured we probably don't need it. I'm pretty sure that was updated, and I'm pretty sure it does work with this newer version of City Skylines, so I might want to look into... Oh, wow. The road heights have just been very strange. But yeah, I might want to look into that extra landscaping tools mod again, because I'm pretty certain there are some things in there that would be useful. I think it takes out the limit on the amount of terraforming you can do, because with the version that's in the game, the vanilla game, there's only so much you can do, which is kind of annoying and not really all that great. And as we probably know, as I'm sure you all know, with the version that was in the mod, you can sort of do infinite terraforming. So I'd kind of like the infinite terraforming versus the non-infinite terraforming. And it's really going to take me a long time to get used to going into the terrain tools for the pedestrian roads. Fortunately, I can do that. And that's actually a nice little place for a pedestrian road, although... I keep saying pedestrian roads. I mean pedestrian paths. They're not roads at all. And apparently I also can't go through there, which is just great. So we'll make that connection. I guess that's reasonable enough. I could do some trees in that little space, and I guess in here is just going to be... I'll say residential as well, and there's a guy driving across the map. Okay, fair play to him. I mean, don't let me stop you, buddy. It's just, it's more the laws of physics should be stopping you. I also realize this is a custom car. It's an old Cadillac, which is doing it. And it's always an old Cadillac that's doing it. I'm pretty sure I'll probably see one, in here, if I keep my eye open long enough. I'm also pretty sure, did I not put some custom decorations in there? I could swear I did. I'm almost certain that I put one of these in here. I don't know, maybe I didn't, but I could swear I did. Whatever, we'll just, we'll do a couple of little benches there. We'll do one on this side as well, because why not? Then we'll get a pedestrian gravel path just coming from there, going around like so, and connecting to there. So that looks fine to me, that'll do the job. Everything's gravy. Is this filling up at all? Not really. There isn't really the demand for it, so I don't really expect it to fill up anytime soon. But it would be really nice if this looked better. I'm not really okay with how this looks. There we go, a nice little row of trees just blocks off the pedestrian path and makes it look a little bit better. It'll also look a lot better when it's actually built up with some buildings in there, which it currently doesn't have, and probably won't for a while because I realize we just had a massive death wave, which I assume has come to an end since we have some growth in the city. No, it actually hasn't, or maybe people aren't dying anymore and we're just collecting the bodies at this point. But we are going to have some lack of demand for a while because there will be a lot of empty plots of land, since a lot of buildings will have been abandoned because no one collected dead people. So we're going to see a lot of that in areas like this especially, and just over in the sort of suburb as well. We're going to see a lot of things that are just going to make things a little bit slower when it comes to developing the city, but that's okay. It'll develop eventually, and I can deal with eventually. I've waited long enough for this city to develop. I can wait longer, I think. Now let's see, can I do... I can do that kind of thing. I guess that kind of looks okay. It's not so bad. We'll do a little bit of that, and then just fill up the rest of the area. There we go. That is going to look really good when it fully builds up, because it is going to hide those pedestrian paths really nicely, and I think that's something that's going to make this city function so much better, because we do have so many people using these pedestrian paths already, and seriously, the buzzword, and if you want to sum up my City Skylines Snowfall Let's Play in like 2 words, just pedestrian paths. So much so that someone commented on Planet Coaster saying the only reason he's playing this game is because it's literally a game about placing pathways and stuff on them. I mean, that's... that's not entirely true, but fair. I can see why you'd maybe think that. Oh boy. I'll try and stop saying pedestrian paths as much. In fact, I'll leave this area because there's not really much I can do with it right now. So we'll come away from there and look at filling up this space a little bit. And, well, actually I realize I can't. A lot of this space has highways connecting to it, and that has a tree in that path there, as does that bit as well. Is anyone using this strat? Why is that? Why is this bit of highway not got a sound barrier on it? That seems very odd. There we go. Much better. It doesn't look like anyone's ever used this pathway, though, which is kind of annoying. It'd be really nice if they did, but I guess I can see why they wouldn't. It's a bit of a long distance for people to travel. It also looks like... Are my pathways having trouble? Like, why are they connecting to the highway like that? That seems a bit odd. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Let's just get on with doing some designing of some areas then, because we really don't have the demand to do anything right now. So something I absolutely would like to do is come over to Park Industrial Park here, and basically I just want to add a quay the whole way around this island, because it's an industrial island, and I think the quay could actually make it look really, really good. Although a bit strange as well, because it's going to look very man-made, which it isn't. It's not a man-made island, but this is definitely going to give it that look, and that actually looks very strange there. I might have to adjust that bridge at some point, but for the meantime, we'll leave it as it is. We'll just bring this the whole way around and see if we can build out onto, you know, sort of onto the quay a little bit. Because it does flatten land, which is a very good thing. The flattened land means it's going to be much easier for structures to exist in Park Industrial Park, so that's a good thing. Can I get this to work? I can. Can I get it to go under there? I can. Beautiful. Alright, let's just continue this the whole way along to there. Around that corner, we're getting there. It's not going to take too long. This is also... Wow. I just noticed how cheap it is to do this. That's kind of silly how cheap it is to put in the keys like this. I mean, look at that. That's, what, 100 and... That's 400 for that length of... Yeah, that's kind of silly when you consider that, like, this is terraforming. I know I've got terraforming for me is free. That's kind of a choice thing, but it's weird that, like, this degree of terraforming is actually just completely free in the game as well. Because that is completely what this is. You're building up a lot of land around an island and then doing a lot of concrete on it to make it look good. That's very strange indeed. Now, can I get this to connect it all? Like, is there any way I could make that work? Not really. I think there is a mod called, I think, Quay Anarchy. I might need to look into that, because it would properly let me connect to those docks, but, I mean, even that looks okay to me. That definitely looks better, and actually makes me kind of okay with, doing a little bit of industrial zoning, just sort of on the edges of the island here, because it'll build out, it'll fill up the quay, it'll make it look, you know, like it actually has stuff on it, rather than just being this awkward edge to the island, so I'm quite okay with that. There we go, we have outlined the entire island with some industrial zoning, because that's really what it needed. It really needed more industrial zoning to add to the traffic, and now it has it. And it will probably look pretty good, honestly, being out on the quay like that, with the nice straight concrete side there, with some, you know, regular looking, I mean, you really can't see it because of the snow, but you can sort of see the terrain coming up to it there. If I really wanted to, I absolutely could come in here with rocks, which, there we go. Oh, so this category has a lot more to it than I thought it did. Although it also has, yeah, the trend. Oh, it's not. This doesn't necessarily. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh my god. Oh my. Wow. That is a thing that I can do? That. Hold on. I'm just gonna. I know this is getting rid of zoning, but. Oh my god. That's actually really cool. Oh, I could totally make an old European town. Sorry, I'm just having ideas for Let's Builds, because I didn't know I could do that. Good lord. That's really interesting, because you've got these trenches as well, which look awesome. I love these, by the way. Trenches are really cool. I wonder if trenches work with water. That's something I'm curious to see. Oh, you can't actually build a trench out into the water. Okay, fair enough. But, I didn't know these were here. I honestly did not know that these were actually things I could play with, and I'm super excited that they are in fact a thing I can play with, because they're really cool. Look at that. I can make a fort. I can literally make, like, walled off areas of my city. I can, like, have walls around some of, like, the luxury areas or whatever. We can make Stonehenge, we've got fallen trees, we've got burnt out trucks and cars. That's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing. I really didn't know that was a thing. What the hell is that? That's meant to be a bike lane? Okay. Interesting. Well, oh god, that's really surprised me. I wish I knew that was a thing sooner, because I'm gonna have so much fun playing around with that later. It's certainly gonna be a thing. What's more is I've completely forgotten what I was about to do. because I just got completely sidetracked by the fact that I can, in fact... Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to go to rocks, and I was going to look at maybe putting a couple of rocks. Are these actually rocks from the game? I really don't know. I really don't... I think they are, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. I want the more recent rocks, and I think... I don't know if that's even them. I wanted to put them against the Quay, but I don't think it's going to let me. Which is kind of annoying. It also doesn't help. I've been playing a lot of Planet Coaster, and I'm looking at rocks and thinking, why can't I put these, like, together? Oh, I can't put them together. Never mind. I'm getting confused by different games that I'm playing. I'm sorry. Here's a thing I would like to do, though. I think this area could do with some rocks of some sort, so let's see what we can do. It's not gonna let me, is it? Because the rocks can't be close to that train line. I really need the proper anarchy tool, don't I? The one that lets me just place stuff next to stuff. That's the anarchy tool I need, not the one I currently have. But I can, I suppose, do some walls. That is a thing I can do. Let me actually go to terraforming and see if I can make this a thing. So if I go to here, and I do, like, full strength, give me the smaller brush. Let me select that as my height and just sort of smooth this out a little bit. So sort of just bring that up like that. And around here a little bit. Can I, by any chance, now do a proper wall there? Sorta. Nah, not really. It's been a bit weird. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, that's what I wanted. That is exactly what hold on, can I raise this? Is this a thing that can be raised up? I don't know. Because it has this, and I don't know what exactly that would be. But whatever, it's fine. Let me do... Oh my god, that looks so cool. I really love that. That is the coolest thing. Okay, let me do a wall like that as well. And then let me try and connect these. So, that. Yeah! That's a wall that sort of blocks off where the train line is. I mean, even that kind of works. Can I do some buildings in there? I absolutely can. Okay, we're gonna do a building. We'll do that as our building. And that, we'll just do that, I guess. Just do a sort of a row across like that, and then leave that as a bit of a gap. Then just continue the wall up to that point. This is the coolest thing. That really is. That's gonna look so good when it builds up a little bit. It already looks kind of cool. I really... Oh, I'm gonna spend so much time playing with those walls. It's gonna be excellent. Let's see. That's the retro streetlight. I'd like to put that right next to the wall. Just like that. And then put one over here as well. Just like that. There we go. So that's going to look a little bit interesting. I could probably do with putting some trees around this as well, because it is going to be a little bit bare. I really want to get rocks on it. It's just not going to let me. Can I do... Oh, I can do that, though. I feel like that would make a lot of sense as well, having a bit of wall just like that. Although it sinks down with the... I don't like that it adjusts the terrain. I feel like that's something that needs a bit of work, but we'll get to it eventually. We'll just focus on trees for the time being, because that way we can just sort of cover up this train track a little bit, which is kind of what I really want to do. I'm not too worried about the using the wall all too much. So let's just get that covered up. We'll get some of these in here a little bit, and just bring them across a little bit like so. And get a couple of different trees in there as well. So I'm going to leave this area here to do its thing. It's got a bunch of trees. It's a little bit of a mess, but it does the job. It's not really going to be the most well-tended to area, considering it's way out of the way. But I would like to come over to the train station here, because I want to tear this apart. Which, you might be... you might be wondering why I want to tear my train station apart, considering I've done that several times already. But basically, I just want to make it better. I want to add another station like this. I just want to make it better. It's really that simple. I just want to make a better looking train station. So I'm going to pull all the trees out of here. And all of the little details and lights and pathways and all that stuff is going to be removed from the area. So let's make sure we don't miss anything, so it doesn't end up just sitting in there whilst I redo the train station again. So let's get rid of those pedestrian paths. Let's get rid of that. All of this as well. Get rid of you and you. Bring this the whole way back to there. And I'm also going to be getting rid of probably this cargo terminal for a little while. So we'll get rid of you. And we'll get rid of those bits of track. We'll take these guys all back a little bit as well. We'll just completely de-zone that space, I think. And that bit as well. And then just take out this road. It's basically going away, is what that road's doing. Then we're going to extend a bit of regular road over to there. And what I would like to do is basically just put another big station there. Another one of these, right next to the one that's already there, because they look pretty good. So we'll do a second train station like that. Although it's at a slightly different height and looks a little bit silly. I might actually try and raise the land up to the correct height there, just so I can make it look good. So that's the height I want. And then I want to make the slightly bigger brush and just raise the land to that same height. So hopefully that'll work. We'll bring this across again. We'll make this little connection here. And we'll add in... There we go. That's better. So those are now right beside each other as one. It's sort of meant to look like one big station. Just imagine it looks like one big station. I know it doesn't. But it... You know, it's all about your imagination, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this series is all about, because Lord knows it's not about mine. Because if it was, I mean, this would be more of a mess than it is. It really... If I wasn't playing this and recording it, I would be faffing about it so much more. I really would. Some of my off-camera cities are ridiculous. I might show them to you at some point, someday. But it's really unlikely because I'm slightly embarrassed by them. But let's go ahead and just... Can I... I'm gonna pull out these train lines here. Because I'm gonna try and lower the terrain so I can basically... I want to bridge over some train lines, is what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I want to do, because I'm going to have so many train lines coming out of here that really that's all I can do, you know? So we're going to just get rid of all these trees, and we're going to attempt to lower the terrain. So let's just lower the strength a little bit, lower the brush, and lower the terrain down a fair bit. Then we want to go to that height and just level it all out. Is this taking soil, or is this giving me soil? I really don't know. This is taking soil, really? That's really strange. This would kind of... Oh, there's bloody tunnels under there, aren't there? Ah. Now that makes things a bit tricky. That makes things very, very tricky. I'm not quite sure what way this will end up working. I'm really not, because those tunnels are absolutely in the way. I'm going to have to get rid of them. I'm going to have to move those tunnels. Completely, in the case of that one. And, I mean, that could probably connect in a different way, but, oh, that makes things tricky. Let's see. Let's go to Metro, and we're going to sort of curve this down like that. We'll use the freeform tool to do it, so we'll bring it out and around like so, and then it can connect like that. I know that's hideous, but it really is my only option. We'll do something sort of similar here. That's actually not going to let me, is it? Oh boy. Let's not have snapping here. Let's bring this out like that. No, that's not going to work either. Let's make that connection. There we go. So that's absolutely hideous, but it really is all I can do. Oh boy. Right, why? Oh, I can't level that because it's there. That's a major station as well. That's a really important station to have. Okay, we're going to have to get rid of the bridge instead and do this a different way. So let's see, that's the height we want. Let's just bring this that way instead. Then raise the land back up on this side so we don't actually know that those tunnels are there. Oh, that's going to be tricky. That is really going to be tricky, but we're just going to have to deal with it. There we go, so level all of that out. Is that even low enough? Not really. That needs to be a lot lower. So let's just go way down like that. Let's just make that the height we're leveling things to. And come in here, and I think that'll be a good height. That'll definitely work. Just need to be very careful with what we do in terms of the leveling, because we do need to be able to level this back up towards the stations. So let's see, bring that to there. Can I perhaps just bring... Can I bring a road off of the side of this? I can, but that's not actually straight, is it? So let me just do that and bring that to there a little bit. Because what I'd like to do is I want to make these all about the same length to start with. So this track is going to come out to there. This one to... not there. I said this one is going to go to there. That one to there. Then these ones are going to go to the same... No. To the same lengths as well. That one actually can't because the road isn't long enough, so let's just extend that a little bit. Then we go to tracks and to there. So those should now all be about the same length. Which they are. Good. So now what we need to do is... I'm trying to work out this terrain tool as well. I haven't actually had much practice with it yet. I know it's the same tools as what we've had previously. I really haven't had... I really haven't tried using them like this is the thing. So there we go. We have the slope. That might be... Yeah, that's going to be really steep, isn't it? But we're going to have to work with it. It's as simple as that. We're going to have to work with what we've got. So let's bring this bit of track down like that. Then we'll bring this bit of track down beside it, and it can connect to there. So that's a start. We'll bring this track around a little bit further, and we'll start raising it up to... Can I actually just go straight? I can actually go straight to there, although it looks a little bit silly. So let's try and make that work properly. So what we want to do is bring this into about there. Okay, so I can make that work. We'll bring this track to there, and now all of these 6 platforms need to link into one track. Oh boy, this is going to be tricky. That is a mess. We're not going to do that. We're going to bring that bit of track around. It's going to sort of follow those ones, and is there a point there that it can connect to? I don't think there is. I was really hoping there would be, but it really doesn't look like there is one at all. It could probably connect further on. Let's just deal with these ones for the time being. Bring this in like so, bring it to there. Then bring this one around like so, and to there. Then this one sort of around as well. And, oh, are they going to be able to get past each other is the question? I really hope so. Easy does it. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a squeeze. Come on. Okay, can you stop snapping though? That's... Oh, hold on a minute. There's a point where it works. Sure. Oh, that looks horrible. That looks absolutely hideous. The hell's up with that? Okay, let me try that again. Can I want to bring it to there, and I want to bring it through there. That's a bit better. Okay. Then connect. So these two are probably going to have to connect at the end, if I'm not mistaken. So that needs to go around and to there. All right. Then this bit of track can connect to there. Oh, wow. This is going to be such a mess, but it might end up looking kind of cool. is my hope. It might actually look kind of cool once we have a bunch of trains in here. So let's just connect to you, then bring this through a little bit. Actually, that could go straight to there. Wow. That's a mess. It's such a mess, but I actually kind of love it. I think it's going to look really interesting once we get a bunch of trains coming through there. I'm kind of excited to see what kind of mess I've just created. Let's see. So that's way too high. Let's lower that just a little bit. We'll go to 6 meters. Then we'll go to there, and then to... Can I actually just go straight across with this? No. No, I cannot. It's because of that pillar, though, so that might actually be doable. It is doable. Look at that. That's not so bad. Actually looks kind of cool. Now, can I just reconnect those lines? Because I really need to. Let's go to a straight bit, and I can, actually. Perfect. Oh, look at that. That actually looks really good. Although this technically needed to come across... Oh boy, what have I done? What have I made here? I'm not quite sure what this is, and I'm not entirely convinced it'll even work. But I'm excited by it, and that's not a good thing. Was that... I think that was originally an 8-lane road, wasn't it? I think it might have been. I think I'll just leave it as it was. Yeah. That looks okay to me. As for this bit, I mean... I guess I'll just downgrade it to a 6-lane road, since that's what it kind of goes into, and then... I should probably use the smoothing option here to just blend this all out a little bit. To make it look a little bit better. Because good lord. What I've created here is a bit of a monstrosity, really. It really... Oh, that needs to be raised back up to that height. There we go. That looks a little bit better. It's a monstrosity. It really is, but I'm gonna make it work. You don't need to worry about it. I'm gonna make this work. I also need to make sure that all my trains have in fact reconnected. So we'll bring that road down to there. Delete that bit. We'll bring... Actually, you know what we'll do? No, I was gonna do something a little bit silly there. We'll actually just stick with the a very simple design for this pedestrian path, which is that, and then to there. So there we go. That's not connected the way it should be, and I want to make sure my trains have all reconnected as well. So the red line, I would like to move to there and make sure it is connected, which it is. The blue line is going to go to there, which is now reconnected as well. Although apparently not very well connected. So if I do that... Ah, there we go, it's readjusted. So we'll just put the blue line... We'll keep it on the side it was on. There we go, so the blue line is working fine. That pink line and that yellow line, those are subway lines, aren't they? No, those are bus lines. Okay, so the buses need readjusted. Let's see what we're doing there. So let me just go to bus stops and drag that to there and see what it does. That's not good. Now, where was that stop originally meant to... That came through, didn't it? Oh, that's going to make things a bit rough. Where were those stops? That's the question. There must have been stops in there somewhere. And I'm not entirely sure where they were. I think there was one there, wasn't there? I have no idea. There was a line somewhere in this space, so I'm gonna have to get rid of this building so I can see what the hell's going on with the buses there. That's really strange. Is there seriously no way for the buses to get around? It seems to be that's what this is telling me. Which is concerning. What bus is that? Those are the outer downtown lines, aren't they? I think they are. Let's have a look. So, downtown... Inner, downtown... Oh, yeah, those are the downtown outer lines. Well, we'll just redo those. We will recreate the downtown outer lines rather than trying to fix them. There we go. That's everything pretty much sorted out. We have the bus line back where it needs to be, or the bus lines back where they need to be. If we have a quick look here, we can see, where would you best see them? These two lines here are the two outer downtown lines, and they actually go much further than the previous ones did. They go around this whole area rather than just around this one here, so we might see more people opting to use it. There are stops in front of the train station, which I thought would be very important for those bus lines. There's also... I don't actually think there's any stops near the... well, I guess the stop is right there in front of the subway. There is also a stop for one of them by this subway over here. The subways which actually do still seem to be working, which is just excellent news. So no real worries about those subways not working after my changes. But in general, it is just really nice to see that this is all sort of working. And something I think I will do just for the hell of it is I'm going to just change one of these train lines, which is the question. Those are my trains. Stardew Valley to Central line. I think we'll put the Stardew Valley to Central line actually just out here for the hell of it. Just so that the trains are going to different places. I'm just, you know, I just want to mess with it and see how it goes. There's all those people going to the other station. As you can see, we'll see a bunch of them coming in here fairly soon. Also, you might have noticed we have the cargo train line back in here. There's no bypass for it anymore. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. We'll hopefully see that working. Is everyone... yeah, everyone's coming to that station just there. So we should see the train... we should, at some point, see a train coming in and doing its thing. I know this terraforming's not all that pleasant looking. It is a bit of a mess. There's the train going to the station. Beautiful. It is a bit of a mess in here. We will absolutely do some trees and stuff like that to sort of hide the mess that is this area. I could do some rocks if I really wanted to, but those are a little bit, just a little bit big. Well, actually, I say that. This one could probably sort of go there, and we'll do a little bit of something like that. Then a couple of pebbles. Oh! Now these ones are going to be super interesting. So I really could build this up if I wanted to. It'd be a lengthy process, but... oh, it might look so much better if I do. There we go. We've got a bunch of rocks, a bunch of trees, and I think this just looks a little bit better compared to the very bare rock faces that we have over here. I will actually touch up this entire area at some point, but today's episode has been a little bit lengthy, and I think I would rather leave it there for today so we have some things that we can do in the next episode, as well as whatever we end up doing that isn't revolving around placing a bunch of rocks into a small area. What I would like to look at is this space over here. Yes, it looks absolutely wonderful indeed. It's built up exactly the way I'd want it to. And we have a bunch of people going across this pedestrian bridge here. So many people. But this highway as well, look at that. Nicely bordered by a bunch of buildings. Makes it look much more like a downtown area, which is what I want it to be. So I think the city's coming along really nicely. And I am very, very happy with it. I actually really like how this looks, even if it is... like, this is going to be a disaster once we have a bunch of different trains coming in here. We have 12 platforms, and it all goes out onto the one line, so we may at some point end up having to, you know, branch this off a little bit, maybe have 2 tracks. Some of them could probably go underground and out elsewhere, but I just like how this looks for the meantime. I think it looks a little bit silly. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave it there for today. So thank you kindly for watching. This has been Skylines Snowfall, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!